Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I will be demonstrating how I install my butterfly soft locks. It's very quick and a lot simpler than the traditional method, so follow along. Now let's get right into it. So hi, that's me. And the reason that I say that this method is quicker is because you will only spend half of the time you normally do wrapping in versus the traditional method. So you'll start off by braiding your hair, and I like to use this edge booster, the Style Factor edge booster. It smells really good. There's different scents. I got the peach. And yeah, so you'll just go ahead and you'll single braid your hair. If your hair is shorter, you can always add in some braiding hair just to lengthen it a little bit. And you just go through with the edge control just to smooth and slick the hair in. Now, if you don't want to use edge control, that's also an option. I personally find that the less I use, the longer the style lasts, just due to product buildup. So if you don't want to use any edge control, then you definitely don't have to. But at the same time, it does help to make the style look neater when it is complete. I did go through and pre-part and section the hair prior to filming, so that is why there's already some parts there, and then I just twisted the front just so I can do this demonstration to show you. But yes, you'll go through and you'll braid everything, not twist like me, braid, and then when you're done, you'll move on to the next step. And here's how it looks when all the braids are complete. For the actual hairstyle, you'll need crochet butterfly locks. I use the Expression brands. And then you'll need water wave braiding hair. And this is the Hypertress brand. And here comes the fun part. So to start, you'll just take one crochet lock and you'll take a piece of hair. You'll feed the crochet hook through the loop at the top of the lock, and you will clip it on to the actual braid. Now, this part is important because this will determine the final length of the locks. So if you'd like shorter locks, then you will feed it through closer to your scalp, and if you like longer locks, then you'll feed it through closer to the bottom of the braid. So here I'm sizing it up so that it's all uniform along the line at the back, along the braids at the back. And then what you'll do is you'll fold your braided hair over. This is why it's important that if your hair is shorter, you do add in some braiding hair. And then you will feed the end of the braid through the top of the braid, closer to your scalp. So you'll put the braid in through the hoop of the crochet hook and pull it through. And at this point, it's still not too late. You can always pull your hoop that you've made with your actual hair up and down. You can slide it up and down if you'd like the actual lock to be shorter or longer. So you can see here, I'm just making sure it's right. And then you'll fold it over, and then this is where you take the water wave hair. And once you start wrapping, just please note, once you start wrapping, that is going to be the length of your lock. So at this point, it's still not too late. You can adjust the length of the lock by pulling the braid that you have fed through closer to your scalp, either higher or lower. And then with the water wave hair, you're just going to kind of fluff it out. It doesn't need too much fluffing, but just run your fingers through it once or twice. And you'll begin by folding it in half and then wrapping it around the base of the braid. And like I said, once you started this process, you cannot change the length of the lock, so make sure you have it the length you'd like it to be. You'll wrap it around the base a few times just to make sure that the base is sturdy. And at this point, if you even want to feed the actual water wave hair through the braid itself, like how you fed the braid through closer to your scalp, you can do that for better stability. And then you're just going to wrap the braid, and you're gonna wrap and wrap and wrap. And I like to keep my thumb out so that when I am wrapping, it gives it that butterfly effect. You can choose to stick your thumb out or a finger out every so often, but I really wanted to have the butterfly effect. So basically every wraparound I had my thumb there, and as you'll see as I'm going down, it's really giving it that butterfly effect. And then once one strand is done, you'll just go through with the other strand and you'll keep wrapping until you reach the actual lock that you crocheted on. And then you can just wrap it going back up in the other direction, so closer towards your scalp. So you'll just wrap and wrap and wrap, and you'll wrap back in the other direction. Now also keep note that some parts may be thinner, so parts that are thinner, always make sure to pull your thumb out a little bit more so that it is thicker and it hides your real hair underneath, or the hair that you've braided underneath. And then you just keep wrapping into end. You kind of just wrap it around and it'll kind of hide itself, and that's the beauty of these butterfly locks. And then you're done. And I will demonstrate again. This time I won't talk. here it is completed. So I've gone through and repeated the process over and over, and now it's done, and look how good it looks. And the part that I wrap myself, you can't even tell where it starts or ends. So that is the point. You want it to look uniform so that it looks like you wrap the whole thing yourself. And this was after I added a little bit of hair jewelry and did my makeup for a night out with my gals. Here's the style a couple of weeks later, and to me personally, I kind of like when it's grown out just a little bit because then it looks more like natural locks. And I've switched up the style, and you'll see that the locks itself still look really good even after a couple of weeks.